Namaskar. Welcome to NIOS Studio. Today we are doing lesson number 24. The name of the lesson is Consumer Protection. The meaning of consumer. So who is a consumer? Consumer is a person who is a shopper who goes out and buy the products. So what is the concept of consumer protection? For example, if there is an emergency, something happens, an accident or anything, there's a mishappening, it could be in money wise, it could be anything. So who protects the consumer? This concept is about the consumer protection. So there are a lot of common malpractices. So let us see what are the malpractices that could harm so many consumers. So there are different points that I'm going to tell you. First point is adultered goods. Adultered goods means something a brand is showing everybody. It could be a nice poster showing food or some gadget or anything, but not giving the real quality, compromising on the quality, but only showing and really attractive and catchy posters to attract people. Second is low value goods. So what are low value goods? Let us see. So low value goods are the goods and the products which have no quality, zero quality. It only has low value. Third point is low quality goods. It could be a camera, it could be a phone, it could be anything. Only it is good to see, but the usage is very bad. No quality is given, no feature is used properly. The whole good, the product, is not good. So the fourth point is duplicate goods. So making a first copy or the second copy of the product and selling it further for money. Fifth point is use of false weights. So you see a lot of vendors outside selling vegetables. So when you see the weighing machine, it could be rice, it could be vegetables, anything. You see that the whole weighing machine, but it's not real. They have different magnets stick to it that they gain profit from it, that they don't have to give more of the weight, but they gain profit. So the sixth point is black markets. Black markets is basically, I'll explain you. For example, when you buy a latest phone and it is an amazing phone, but you need the same phone. So how do you do it? So I copy the whole features of that particular phone and make another phone like that and sell it. It could be any product. Making the copies of clothes or anything, that is known as black market. Seventh point, higher price than the MRP. So every product, everything has a MRP stick on it. But you see that the MRP is 250, but somebody tells and the shopkeeper says for 500. It's higher than the MRP. 8th point is defective goods. Defective goods are selling those defective goods just to gain profit. 9th point, misleading ads. You see advertisements about food, about clothes, about shopping, fashion, so much. They show so much of good, and they are so misleading because whenever you order it online and they send it, you see that the product is totally different from the picture. So it is misleading ads. Another thing that could happen is misleading ads, that you should always put an eye on the product and not buy it online. 10th, low quality service. After you buy the product and you see that the service was not good, the presentation was not good or anything, you could complain. The need for consumer protection. Why is there a need for it? I'll explain you why. So, to increase the awareness, increasing the awareness among people about good and bad always helps the consumers to be aware about their protection and their rights. It saves them from their loss. Second will be consumer satisfaction. So what do you think is consumer satisfaction? When the customer buys the product and the customer is totally satisfied with it from their quality, because of their features, anything. The customer satisfaction is very important. If they don't like and if the customers are not satisfied, they can always return the product. Third is social justice. Social justice is very important for the consumer protection. If there is quality compromise, it will never be justified for the customer who has spent money. Another is social responsibility. So what does it mean? It means having the responsibility both socially and satisfying the needs of the customers. So it is the responsibility of the brand to make and fulfill the needs of the customers so that they don't go in the loss. Another is trusteeship principle. Having the trust, the share, and the truth, the relationship of honesty is the best. Another is growth and the survival. So what does it mean? It means growth and the survival of customers as well as the brand. So you see that importance of customer protection from the consumer's point of view is totally different. So when a customer look at it, what is consumer protection from a consumer's point of view? And we will see that. So the first is consumer's ignorance. For example, the consumer knows that the product doesn't have a quality, but they're still buying it. They're ignoring the fact that it doesn't have a quality. Another is unorganized customers. What does it mean? Unorganized consumers are the consumers who don't have a uniformity, who don't have awareness regarding the rights and the protection. Third point is widespread exploitation of consumers. I'll explain you. So it could be anything, not just with one particular product, but could anything exploiting the customers, the consumers, and not giving them the real quality. And what is it from the point of business? So we see that it is totally different from the consumer's point of view. So the first point is long-term interest of business, focusing on the business, giving the good quality for more and more long-term interest, not for short form, not just for some time, but for longer term. And the interest is very important for the survival of the business. Another point is business uses society's resources. So when you see that the society has a lot to give to businesses, we have to always look in the society of what area, what people want and like. Third is social responsibility. It is not easy, it is very important. Social responsibility comes out to be a very important job. It is being responsible towards the customers and the brand, both socially. Fourth is moral justification. Moral justification means having to justify to see, knowing everything of the product you're about to buy, having the full awareness and the knowledge of what you are going to buy from the shopkeeper. Government intervention. Whenever there is injustice towards consumers or anyone, government always intervene for the protection of consumers and from the point of view of business to save them from major loss. It could be any business, it could be any consumer. Consumer awareness. What is it? So now we will see what is consumer awareness in the term of consumers. A lot of consumers don't know about the good and the bad. They keep buying the products and we later complain. So the brand always says it is your responsibility to see the right product and complain on the time. But complaining it later is not fair. So we will see that the role of consumer organizations, what is it? I will explain you. So the first is teach the product consumers. Teaching them about the product clearly and awareing them is very important. For more awareness and knowledge. The discussion always helps. Second is inform the consumers about their rights. Mentioning them about their basic rights as consumers or as humans. Their right is very important. And awareing them is also their right that they should know about. Third is organize exhibitions on adulterations. So, as we discussed before about our adulterations, it could be in anything about food, about different brands, products, gadgets. So, the clear indications and instructions to organize it well is important. Fourth point is conferences and talks. What is it? It is having more and more conference and meeting regarding the particular issue to resolve it and make the particular changes. Number 5 is publish in journals. You see that there are newspapers, right? There are journals also. And putting the whole conference, the conversation, the report writing, and publishing it in the journals is also very important to aware the public. Number 6 is produce films about food safety. You see that there are different documentaries, movies, or YouTube videos about food, about different recipes. There are a lot of food bloggers and so much going on. So there should be films about food safety too. 7th point is counseling and guidance. What is the meaning of counseling and guidance? So, for example, if you go to a school or a college and you are new there and you have no knowledge about the place, you will always ask a teacher who's experienced for their guidance or counseling about how to go further. And then you know the advantages and the disadvantages both. And accordingly, you act and walk forward. So this is counseling and guidance. 8th point is help customers file complaints. If there are customers who are going through different problems and who need help and they don't know how to go forward, they always need help to file complaints because they're not aware of their justice, of their basic rights to file any complaint they want. So you see the picture. In the picture, you see that the consumer rights are so many. You see that there are different rights, human rights, fundamental rights. So, for example, if you are at your home and your father or your mother forces you to do something and you don't want to do it, it is taking away your right. When you are an adult, you decide it for yourself. So the first right is right to be heard. What does it mean? You must be wondering what is right to be heard. So I'll explain you. Right to be heard is when you, for example, you buy a product or a mobile phone and somehow the phone is broken or technically is at fault. And when you go back to the company and you ask them to repair it and you tell them and they have to hear you. This is the right to be heard. And if they say no, we are not going to hear you and we are not going to repair you, not going to help you, this is taking away your right. So you totally have a right to be heard as a customer. Second is right to information. What is right to information? You must be wondering. So right to information is being aware of the information. So when you buy a product, you first ask them, what is the price? So if you buy a cloth, you always ask them if you can wash it in the machine or is it hand wash. You always ask for the information. You always ask for the information, which is very important before you buy any product. The product could be good or bad, but the information is very important to know. Right number 3, it is right to choose. So as you see in the picture that there is one man standing and there are so many ways in front of him, it shows that there is one person and the person as a customer decides what they want to choose. Right to choose for whatever they want in their life, and nobody can force you to choose something in particular. For example, if I want to go forward as a lawyer, I will study law, and if you want to go further study doctory, you study doctory. Fourth right is right to safety. What is right to safety? Have you ever heard of right to safety? No. So, right to safety is respecting the other person for their own safety. Respecting everyone around you. So, when you buy a product from somebody, you always ask them, does it have a warranty? Can it be exchanged? This is right to safety. Knowing that if the product doesn't come out to be good, you can always exchange them and it has a warranty. It could be any product. Fifth is right to seek redressal. What is redressal? So redressal is at one time when there are different problems coming all together and you don't have a solution to it and nobody is hearing you, you directly enter the court. You enter the court because you have bought a product and you have given the money, but it isn't working for you. So now we will take a break.
नमस्कार। जैसा कि आप सब जानते हैं कि कोरोना वैश्विक महामारी से जंग अभी है जारी, तो जब तक दवाई नहीं तब तक ढलाई नहीं। सरकार द्वारा जारी आदेशों का पालन करना जिम्मेदारी है हमारी। मास्क लगाकर निकलें घर से बाहर, 2 गज दूरी बनाकर करें नमस्कार, हाथों को धोएं दिन में बार बार, तभी सुरक्षित रहेगा कोरोना से देश और समाज। शिक्षा का जिम्मा NIOS का काम, घर से शिक्षार्थियों के लिए शिक्षा हुई अब आसान।
प्रकाशित करने राहों को आलोकित करने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो, धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
मित्रों हम उठे और जागे,
मंजिल आने की ध्वनि सुने हम, अपना जीवन स्वयं बने हम, अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय का है द्वार खुला सबकी खातिर। शिक्षा परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर।
शिक्षा और परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर। दुनिया में इसके केंद्र बात,
कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने हम, अपना जीवन स्वयं बने हम, अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने हम, स्वयं बने हम,
Welcome back. So the sixth point is right to consumer education. It is very important to be educated. Consumer education is very important. So what are the responsibilities of consumer? There are different responsibilities that are fulfilled by the consumer. It could be any product. So the first one is be quality conscious. Second is collect proof of the transaction. Whenever you make a transaction, always collect its proof. You should always be prepared with a proof, be it a bill or an online transaction. Third is complaint for genuine grievances. So don't complain for small things. Whenever there is something serious, always complain. Fourth is proper use of product and service. Any product and service that you buy should have a proper use of it. Fifth point is awareness about rights. Having to be aware about one person's right. Number 6, be aware of misleading advertisements. There could be lie or there could be anything. Always check the information, see if it is credible, and then only buy. 7th is inspect variety of goods before choosing. Just don't buy like that. Always inspect. It could be any good. Ways and means of consumer protection. What are the different ways? How to protect a consumer's protection. Number one is LOK Adalat, that you straight away go to the court. When you go to the LOK Adalat always straight away gives and resolves the problem. It doesn't take it forward. Second is public interest litigation. Public interest litigation is about to complaint, also called as PIL. Number 3 is Consumer Protection Council. This council looks only forward to consumers' protection. It was established to resolve the problems. Awareness program to aware people of good and bad both. Number 5 is consumer organizations. Different organizations establish themselves to help the consumer for their protection, education, awareness, their rights and their interests. Number 6 is Consumer Welfare Fund. If somebody needs and they don't have the money to file PIL or an advocate or anything for their justice, the Consumer Welfare Fund is there. Number 7 is legislative measures. What are the legislative measures? It is the legal measures to help. These are the picture of the measures. Consumer Protection Act. What is it? So it was established in 1986. This act looks forward for consumer protection from anything that can harm them. There are different features of CPA. The features were established in 1986 too. So the first feature is that it applies to all goods and services. Second is, it also covers private, public and cooperative sectors. Number 3 is compensates for consumer loss. Helps the consumers. Number 4 is provides recognition to 6 rights. The 6 rights we studied before. Filing of complaints. What is the process of it? Let us study. So, first question that comes is, who can file a complaint? Me, you, who? A consumer. Second, a consumer association. Central or state government can also file a complaint. Then one or more consumers together can file a complaint as a group. Legal hire rep in case of death. What does it mean? It means when the consumer life is lost in the process of legal procedures, so the legal hire will fight for the right of the consumer. So, what are the complaints that can be filed? I'll explain you the points. So, number one is charging higher MRP. The print says 300, but the company says 600, charging the higher MRP. Second is giving defective products. Number three is false advertising. Number four is adulteration or low quality. Where is the file? Where do we file the complaint? So, the first is type of institutions and what is the amount. So, a district forum up to 20 lakh. Starting from 0 to 20 lakh. Then comes state commission, which can file complaint if it is 20 lakh to 1 crore. Then comes national commission. So, in national commission more than 1 crore. So, how do we file this complaint? First, you always gather your paperwork related to the purchase, receipt, bills, warranties, order confirmations, contracts. And then you write or email. You can contact the local seller or a consumer affairs department, or you can contact a third party. And then you take the legal action to resolve your complaint in the court. There are different reliefs available to consumers. What are these reliefs? First is removal of defects from the goods. If there are defects in the goods, removing them. Second is replacement of the goods. If there is a damage, the goods must be replaced. Then comes refund of price paid. Whatever you have paid, you get the refund of it. Then comes compensation of loss or injury suffered. If the product caused injury or loss, the compensation is given. Then comes removal of deficiency in service. If there is any deficiency in the service, it has to be removed. Then comes stopping the sale of hazardous goods. There is always a time limit for filling the complaint, for filing it. So that is 2 years. After 2 years, proof of delay has to be given. And you cannot complain without the proof of delay. Another is time limit for decision, 3 months, 5 months for labs. Machinery are used for the settlement of grievances. There are different machineries that are used. So what are they? In district forum, there are members, limit and appeal. So in district forum, the members has to be 2 members and 1 has to be a woman. 1 man and 1 woman. It is must. The limit is up to 20 lakh. Appeal has to be done within 30 days. Second is state commission. In state commission, the members are president. The members are more than 2. And 1 woman has to be there. It's a compulsion. And the limit is 20 lakh to 1 crore. And the appeal has to be made at National Commission within 30 days. That is within a month. Third is National Commission. So in National Commission, the members are more than 4 and 1 has to be a woman. And the limit is more than 1 crore. And the appeal has to be made in Supreme Court within 30 days. In Supreme Court, it can handle claims made against National Commission and must be filed under 30 days. Supreme Court is the supremest court of India. Thank you, and here we end.
नमस्कार। जैसा कि आप सब जानते हैं कि कोरोना वैश्विक महामारी से जंग अभी है जारी, तो जब तक दवाई नहीं तब तक ढलाई नहीं। सरकार द्वारा जारी आदेशों का पालन करना जिम्मेदारी है हमारी। मास्क लगाकर निकलें घर से बाहर, 2 गज दूरी बनाकर करें नमस्कार, हाथों को धोएं दिन में बार बार, तभी सुरक्षित रहेगा कोरोना से देश और समाज। शिक्षा का जिम्मा NIOS का काम, घर से शिक्षार्थियों के लिए शिक्षा हुई अब आसान।
राहों को आलोकित करने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने। हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।